Most people think you need thousands to start an affiliate marketing business. But here's the truth. We did it with less than $200. No ads, no audience, just a dead simple system. So simple, even a 5-year-old could understand it. So in this video, we're pulling back the curtains. We'll show you exactly how we set up our first affiliate site on a tight budget, the tools we used, how we structured it for success, and how we made our first commissions. And we get it. Starting out is overwhelming. You open 50 pages of tabs, take heaps of notes, and you still feel like you're going around in circles. That's because the online experts make it look easy. But here's what they won't show you: the dark times, the days they lost money, and the nights they nearly quit. We've been through that too. And that's why this video isn't about selling a dream. It's about showing the reality, what it actually looks like to start from zero. No money, no followers, and no shortcuts. Just real setbacks, real steps, and the system we wish we had when we started. And if you stick around to the end, we'll reveal the one piece of advice that makes this whole model work. And without it, getting anywhere is 10 times harder. And guys, if you're loving the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, so we can keep growing this channel together. Let's get into it. Now, before you chase anything, before you chase a single commission, you need a niche. But here's the crucial mistake that most people make. Whatever's trending doesn't cut it. You need two things from your niche. First, something people are actively buying. And second, something you're actually comfortable talking about over and over again. That's it. Don't overthink it. Just follow what works. And some of the best performing niches right now: finance, travel, fitness, health, pet care, and of course, tech. And that's why in today's video, we're going to show you how to set up an affiliate marketing website for under $200, specifically reviewing and promoting tech gadgets. But here's why we picked tech. This stuff includes things like smart home devices, AI tools, travel tech gear, wearable tech, and everyday productivity gadgets. The industry is constantly evolving, and the global market is projected to grow by 20% by 2028, which is just insane. But the best part, once you've got your niche locked in, everything else becomes so much easier. Content ideas come naturally, you actually enjoy the process, and growth becomes predictable. Just stick with us. We'll show you exactly how it plays out. So now that you've got your niche, what is the $1,000,000 question? How do you actually make money from it? It's simple. You recommend a product, you drop your affiliate link, someone buys it, and you get paid. Now, you might think you need to buy a course to make money or spend a ton of money to make more, but there's so many free platforms out there. And the best starting point for tech is Amazon Associates. Why Amazon Associates? It's easy to get approved. People already trust Amazon, and you can link to almost anything. Things like budget gadgets, AI tools, and smart home gear. That means it's easier for people to click and buy, and more opportunity for you to earn. All right, so far we've picked a niche and we've signed up for Amazon Associates. Currently, we haven't even spent a single dollar. But now that you've chosen your affiliate program, it's time to set up our website. Now look, we remember when we first tried building a website. We were spending hours clicking on random buttons and we had no idea what to do next. So if you're feeling stuck, trust us, we've been there. That's why this step shows you the exact tools and shortcuts we wish we had, and all for under $200. And to do it, we're using two powerful tools. The first is Hostinger to actually get your site online, and the second is WordPress. It's almost like the Google Docs of websites. Simple, flexible, and easy to use. We've even hooked you up with a 20% discount to get started. Just use the link in the description below. You'll see precisely how to grab a domain name that is easy to remember, but also relevant to your niche, because that can actually make a massive difference. We'll also show you how to set up your WordPress website and how to actually design a homepage that makes people want to click on your links. Let's dive in. All right guys, so if you clicked on that link, that hosting link that I just mentioned, you're gonna get a 20% off discount, and it's gonna bring you to this page here. The first thing you wanna do is click on claim deal. It's gonna bring you down here so that you can pick your perfect plan. Now, since we chose Amazon to be our affiliate program, you have to make sure that you have the business plan for this one, because that way you can implement your Amazon Associates plugin. So once you actually go to purchase the business plan, it's gonna look something like this. So for 12 months, it's gonna be a total of $60 USD. Now it's gonna bring you to this next page here. This is your billing address, so just make sure you put all the right information in. Now, once you've processed all of that, it's gonna bring you to the Hostinger homepage. Now, personally, Daniel and I, we already use Hostinger all the time for our specific website. So your homepage may look a little something different. However, from here, you wanna navigate to the websites tab and click on websites. So this is gonna bring you to your whole list of websites. We're actually gonna go and add a new website, and then you wanna click on WordPress. So from here, your WordPress admin language, we're gonna stick with English. You wanna put your email and your password in, and then click on next. Create a website with AI or use pre-built websites and themes. And this one is actually up to you really. Creating it with AI may help it, but sometimes people just want to take the other route and make sure that it's all done properly and pretty much the way that they want to do it. For this example, we're actually going to go with the pre-built websites and themes, and I'm going to show you how to set up and add your pages. So you want to click on pre-built websites and themes and click on next. Then it's going to give you a range of different themes and styles that you can pick from. You can actually go and put a filter on. So for this one, we actually want to stick with blog because that's the whole purpose. We're actually going to be creating a blog shortly. I'm actually going to show you how to do that, so make sure to stick around. But now it's just going to give you some different themes, some different examples of what your website might look like. So you just want to go ahead and pick the one that best suits you. All right, so I'm just going to quickly run through the theme that I've chosen. Just by chance, we've actually come across a nice tech one that actually looks really good. So this is actually going to be really helpful in promoting our tech products. So if you've ever actually scrolled upon a blog page before, I think this is actually a really good example of what a blog page should look like. It looks professional, clean, and everything's pretty much laid out in a good format so that people can actually go and click on the blog. So next you want to click on use this website if you're happy with it. Now it's going to give you some recommended plugins. So the ones that we actually want to use, we want to use our Google Site Kit. So this is the official plugin from Google to help give insights about how people find and use your actual site. We've also got all-in-one SEO. So this is to actually help with you and your SEO rankings and specifically your traffic to your website. And then the last one that we want to put in is our Monster Insights. So this one connects your site with Google Analytics and it starts making data-driven decisions for you. Then you want to click on next. So now it's going to ask you what domain or subdomain would you like to use. Now our specific domain, we use dananath.com. So an example of a subdomain could be something like shop.dananath.com. However, because we're going to go with a tech product and for the sake of this example, I'm actually going to try and find a good example of one that we can use for our tech gadgets review. Now, say for example, let's type in something like reviews for tech. Now this is going to come up with a whole different range of domains that we can actually choose. You'll see on the right hand side here, it's going to tell you how much you actually got to pay for a domain. So subdomains are actually free, but when you go to initially implement your own domain, you're actually going to have to pay for it. So a good example would actually be something like this one, reviewsfortech.blog. It's pretty self-explanatory. We've got blog, we've got reviews, and we've got tech in there. The three things that are pretty much essential to our website. So that would actually be a perfect example. So I'm actually going to go and get that one so we can continue. So reviewsfortech.blog, click on next. Now, once you click on next, it's going to bring you to this page here to actually choose your billing period for that specific domain. Now, if you're definitely happy with the domain name, you want to scroll down the bottom here and click on complete payment. So it's going to say payment successful. You want to click on next step, and then click on next. Then you want to click on finish registration. All right guys, so once that's loaded, it's going to bring you to this home page here. Now this is where you can start playing around with your home page of your actual website, make any changes that you want to make. But for now, if we want to actually go about creating specific pages for our website, we want to go to the WordPress dashboard. To do that, you want to go to the left-hand corner here and click on the WordPress symbol. All right, so by clicking that WordPress symbol in the top left-hand corner, it's now going to bring you to this page here. This is your dashboard. The first thing you want to do is go down to where it says pages and click on all pages. Now, the best thing to do to save any confusion, you just want to straight away get all of your pages. So by selecting all of them, you want to click on this button here, click on bulk actions and click on move to trash. Once you've done that, you want to click on apply. The best way to start your website is by getting rid of all the junk, all the stuff that you don't actually need. You want to start from scratch so that you know exactly what's on your website. Now, next, you want to go to your posts and you want to do the exact same thing. So if you can see here, we've actually got 29 posts. So these ones, we're not using them. What we're going to do, the exact same thing, click on this button here, move them to trash and apply. All right, so now that we don't have any pages left, to go and add a new page, you just want to go to the top here and click on add page. All right, so once you've clicked on add a new page, it's going to bring you to something that looks like this. Since we're going to be doing tech reviews, we're just going to name this page technology. Once you've done that, you want to click on publish on the top right corner and click on publish again. This is just for now. We'll get to creating some of our other pages so that it's all set up nicely. So the next page that we're going to create is an about page. So this is pretty much just to tell people that come onto your website essentially what your website will be about. Now, the last page that we want to create is a contact page. So this is essentially where the people that come onto your website are going to go to be able to get in contact with you. So this is also going to be a good way to grab their emails. We're actually going to speak about how you can implement email marketing into your strategy later on in the video. So make sure to stick around for that as well. All right, so at this point, you can actually start working at putting some copy together for your about and your contact pages. You can also start by adding any images, videos, or any other elements to those specific pages. But just remember one thing, blog pages and blog posts, they're two different things. Pages are the permanent parts of your site, like the about or the contact page, but posts are the actual content that you keep updating and building over time. All right, so the next thing we want to do is actually go and update our menus and our home page. So to do that, you want to head over to appearance and you want to go down to menus. So once you get to this page, what we now want to do is actually go and put those pages that we just made and put them into our actual menu. To do that, first you just want to put your menu name. So we could just say something like menu, for example. And then we actually want to go over here to where it says pages and you want to click on view all. Then you want to click on select all and add them to the menu. So it should look something like this. Now you want to try and keep your pages in the right format or in the right order. So typically you'd have your home page on the left-hand side at the start, and then you'd probably have something like your contact page on the right-hand side. So I would just drag this up here and I'd have technology in the middle there. Then with these settings down here, you want to make sure that you have auto add pages on, and then also your primary menu, your off canvas menu, and you can even have your footer menu as well. It wouldn't hurt to have it there. Once you've got those done, you want to click on Save Menu. All right, guys, so my page looks a little something like this now. We've got our home page, technology, about, and our contact pages all ready to go. All right, so your site is now live. It looks clean. You've got your affiliate link set up. But here's the hard truth. If no one visits your site, you make nothing. Now, this is where most people panic, but don't worry, we've got you. In this step, we're going to show you exactly how to start getting traffic to your website, even if you have no money, no experience, and no skills. You'll see the system that we use to create SEO-driven blog articles, create short-form content that grabs attention on platforms like TikTok and Instagram, and start building an email list. This is where it all comes together. It's how we made our first commissions, and it's what most people just either skip or overcomplicate it. Let's start with writing SEO-driven blog articles. In simple terms, SEO is just about writing what people are actually searching for on Google. Something like best budget gadgets. Making your article super clear and full of value to make sure that you can rank for specific keywords. However, here's what most people think. Okay, I'll just write something, hit publish, and hope for the best. But honestly, there are already millions of pages out there, and they all talk about the same stuff. So if you just start writing without an actual plan, yours can just disappear. Google loves clear, human-written articles. That's why we'll show you how to write posts that actually save time without losing quality. And after this, you're going to look at writing blog articles a completely different way. I guarantee it. And if you stick around for the whole tutorial, you'll get free access to our beginner-friendly guide on this exact strategy. Connecting the site is just the beginning. Now, let's create your very first blog post reviewing two different products. This type of article is a goldmine because it directly answers what people are searching for, ultimately helping them make a buying decision. That means more clicks on your affiliate links and more commissions. All right, so the next step is to actually install and go and integrate our Amazon Associates plugin with WordPress. To do that, you want to head back to the hosting a main page and you want to go into your websites. So to actually find that, this is where you're going to be on your WordPress homepage, your dashboard. Essentially, all you have to do is go to the top here where it says Hostinger and click on H-Panel Websites. This is going to open up a new tab for you and it's going to show you the websites that you have currently with your Hostinger account. All right, so from here, you're going to go and get your domain name and you want to go to your dashboard. So you just want to click on dashboard there. It's going to bring you to this page here. From here, you want to navigate to the WordPress overview. Now, if you scroll down here, it's going to have a list of recommended installations. So I've actually already gone ahead and installed the Hostinger affiliate marketing tool. But when you scroll down to this section here, it's actually going to come up with something that looks like this, right? So it's going to say Hostinger affiliate marketing tools. You want to make sure that you install that. Once you've installed that, you can scroll back up to the top of this page and just click on WordPress admin. Now, once you're back onto your WordPress admin, and it's going to look something like this, all right? So what we now want to do is go and click on affiliate marketing. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to give us two options to choose from. Since we're going with Amazon, you want to make sure that you've clicked on Amazon and you press continue. So with country, what you actually want to do is make sure you go with Amazon.com, so the US based one, because this way you get a wider range of products to actually promote, and you're going to a wider range of audience as well. All right, so now that we've got that in, the next thing you want to do is actually put in your tracking ID. So this is what Amazon uses to make sure that they know who's actually promoting the products. So when someone does go onto your website and they click through your link and purchase it, they know who to pay. Now, to find your tracking ID, you want to go over to the Amazon Associates homepage. So this is their dashboard. You want to head to the top right-hand corner where it's got these 3 lines here. And then you want to click on tools. So generate links to products and more. And you want to click on manage your tracking IDs. Now from here, you probably won't already have a tracking ID. All you need to do is just click on add tracking ID and then create one for yourself there. Once that's done, you can head back to WordPress and then you put your tracking ID in there. So once you put your tracking ID in, it's going to give you the option to add an API key. Now this pretty much just means that any updates that Amazon makes to a product, such as pricing, name, all that sort of stuff, then it'll automatically update it. If you don't have this key in, then you're going to need to do it manually. Now to get this key, you're actually going to need to make sure that you had 3 qualified sales in your first 180 days. The same criteria to make sure that your account doesn't actually get shut down. So next, we actually want to get started with creating our blog post. Now, hosting it does have an AI content creator, so I'll just show you what it looks like, right? You're just going to fill out a couple prompts, such as your content type, your tone of voice, content length, what your content is going to be about, and then also what are the focus keywords of your content. Now, this is great if you want to get websites or blog articles up fast, but if you really want to make sure that you're targeting the right things and you can actually get articles that rank on Google, you want to be doing this process right. Now to do this, you actually want to go and create a post. Now to add a post, you just want to go to the left-hand side here where it says posts and click on add a post. All right, so before we get started with actually writing our posts, the main thing that we want to focus on is doing the right product research for the right product. So in this case, we're actually going to go with the best cameras for content creation, specifically in 2025. This is a good way to optimize the search results so that it's actually looking for blog articles that are written in this year and for these specific products. So to do this, I like to head over to YouTube, and then I like to check on trending videos or the highest ranked videos and actually see what they're promoting and what they think are actually the best products. Now this is great also because you can also go through the reviews or the comments on that YouTube video, and you can actually get an understanding of what people have actually used previously and if they do like the products that these people are discussing. So for example, this one that ranks at the top when I type in best camera for content creation, this is by Think Media. So I'm sure many of you know who Think Media is. So for example, if I was to go and click onto their actual video, right, I would scroll down to the bottom here and I would start to review their comments, see what people are saying, see their pain points, so what issues they have with it. And this is the best way to actually start compiling a full list of things that you can actually talk about, but then also which products they actually think are the best. So if I was to scroll down here, right, we've got a ton of comments. So we've got things like the Sony ZV-E10, the iPhone 16, there's pretty much all these different comparisons and that. So just sort of going through these, one product that I've actually seen has been discussed about a lot is the Osmo Pocket. So here we've got, I like the Osmo Pocket. So what you actually want to do with all this kind of content, like these comments and stuff, you actually want to start creating a document and just jotting all these things down like a brainstorm pretty much. And then we're going to get back to that once we've got a bit more information. Now, the next step that I like to do is actually go and check out a software called vidIQ. Now, I'm sure many of you probably understand what vidIQ is. It's pretty much an extension from Google that's directly linked to YouTube. So it's perfect for giving you all the right data and information, things like how many people are searching for these specific keywords or how much competition you actually have. So it's really a good way of getting a good understanding of what product you should actually choose. All right, so when you come to vidIQ, on the left-hand side here, you're gonna have a research bar, right? So what you actually wanna do is go and click on keywords, so trending topics for your channel. And then you wanna put in here, so we discussed using the Osmo Pocket 3. So what I'll do is I'll type in Osmo Pocket 3 here and then just put in VS. So this is going to help with actually giving us the most search comparisons between this and another camera. So let's click on that and we'll see what we get. Now, just clicking on that, you can see here, so what it'll do, it'll give you some related keywords. So things like Osmo Pocket 3 review, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 versus Sony cameras. And then if you actually scroll down here as well, some matching keywords. So this is probably the area that you actually want to target and check. So what you can do is just click on this overall button here. So what it's going to do is going to give you the best overall number. So this is tracked pretty much on a ratio between the search volume and the competition. So the best overall would be something with a high search volume and a low competition. All right, so what you actually want to do now is go and pick a comparison that you're actually going to talk about in your blog. So just sort of scrolling through here in some of the high ranked matching keywords. Something I've said, we've got Osmo Pocket 2 versus Osmo Pocket 3. Now, from what I understand, because the Osmo Pocket 3 is the later model, they don't actually sell the Pocket 2 on Amazon. So we're not going to go with that product. Now, that's one thing that you have to make sure that you do. Before you go through and do all this other stuff, all your research, you want to make sure that you can actually promote that product with the Amazon Affiliate Connector plugin, because when you go to include the specific code for each product, if it's not actually being sold on that Amazon marketplace that you selected, so in our case, we selected Amazon United States, so just amazon.com. So if it's not actually selling on that platform, then you won't be able to actually promote it. So you need to make sure that you do your research, figure out which products you actually want to promote first. But then before you go and start wasting all your time doing all your research, just make sure that you can definitely sell them from that specific platform. Now, just having a browse, I think we're actually going to go with something like the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 versus the Sony ZV-E10. So that specific keyword's getting over 14,000 people searching for it. And then it's also got a low competition. So given a 67 rating, it's not too bad. That's something that I would be okay with promoting. So the next thing that we want to do is actually go to Google, and we want to use their Google autocomplete tool. They've also got tools like people also search for and people also ask. So this is really helpful with actually including all the different types of information that you're going to need to actually include in your blog article. Because if you're including questions or things that people are actually searching for in your blog article, it's giving you a better chance of actually ranking higher and then people actually finding your article. So the first one is Google autocomplete. So this is just straight up going straight to the Google search bar, and we're going to type in our comparison. So we've got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 versus the Sony ZV-E10. So once I put that in there, it's going to come up with search results. So these are the other things that people are searching for in relation to what we've just put in. So once you actually search that in, so we've got a Reddit discussion here. So the DJI Pocket 3 or the Sony ZV-E10. So this is another great way to actually go and find out what people are discussing, what they like about the product, what they don't like about the product, the pros and cons, which I'm going to get to that in a second, but I just wanted to show you a couple things. So obviously you guys know Google have recently included this AI overview tool. So this is just pretty much an AI generated tool that's actually going to give you a bit of information about the product. So for example, here's a more detailed comparison. It's got the pros and cons of the Pocket 3 and then the pros and cons of the ZV-E10 as well. So you can use this information if you'd like. One other tool that you can use is Google's people also search for. Now you're going to find this at the bottom here. So these are all the things that you can actually go and include in your blog article. So you want to be putting the specs of both of these products, how much they're worth, and then also a review on them. But you actually want to be making sure that you include these specific keywords and phrases in your article so that it helps with people actually finding you on Google. So for example, if I was to go back up here, let's actually have a look at Reddit. Now this is a great way of getting a real human insight into people that have actually used these products before. So instead of just using the AI overview, which is pretty much just based on information, this is actually facts, and this is stuff that people have actually discussed because they've actually used the product. So this is probably one of the most effective ways at targeting things like pain points. So if you intend on actually selling a product, one thing that's really important is to target the pain points of the audience. So you want to be figuring out what people have had issues with in the past, and then how this product is actually going to help with fixing that issue. Now, Reddit is one of the best ways to research that sort of information because it's discussions between different humans, right? So for example, if I was to scroll down here, so look, straight away, that's one comment. It's actually giving you a few benefits of each of the products. And then it's pretty much giving you the contrast as well. So size, convenience, and easy connection with a mic, you would be talking about the Pocket 3. But then if you wanted to go with better camera quality or using a special lens, you'd go with the ZV-E10. So all this sort of information, this is what you want to make sure that you're actually including. So one good thing to do is actually to go and create a Word doc or a Google doc and just be jotting down all this bit of information and we'll get to actually optimizing that information shortly and making it into a blog article that Google actually likes. All right, so before I was talking about creating a Word document so that you can actually start brainstorming all your ideas. So I've pretty much just got a bit of information here. I've probably got 2 to 3 pages of just information about each of the products. I've wrote a few pros and cons down, what other people are actually talking about. Now, I'm gonna go and copy and paste this into Chatgpt. But before I actually go and click enter to get it to start creating me a blog article, I use a specific prompt that I actually got from a professional affiliate marketer who's made thousands of dollars a month, and he's actually giving me this for free. So that's the same thing I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna give you this for free as well. It's gonna be inside our free guide that I'm gonna be talking about shortly. Essentially, this prompt is designed to make your content sound human and avoid AI detectors, because as discussed, Google actually want to promote content that sounds like a human, especially with all the AI content out there. So I've just pasted my prompt in there and I'm going to click on enter. So I've got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 versus the Sony ZV-E10. Which one's actually better for vlogging? Now, this is just an example title, right? We're going to actually go over shortly about how to actually optimize your title specific to long tail keywords. Now, what you want to do is you're going to copy this and you want to head over to stealthwriter.ai. So now just on the left-hand side here, they've got their dashboard, they've got a Humanizer tool, and then they've got their AI detector. So the first tool that we want to use is the AI detector. So when I go over to here, you can put as many words as you like in there. So just paste that article that you just got from Chatgpt in, and then click on check for AI. Now, if you scroll down here, it's actually going to give you an AI detection result. Now, this prompt is actually quite effective in most cases, but sometimes it's not always going to pick up the exact wording that you actually need to beat this AI detector. So at the moment, we've got 51%. So we're not going to stick with it and just use that script, even though it's 51%, right? What we can actually do now is head over to the Humanizer tool. Now, if you don't have a plan with them, then you're going to have to only do 300 words at a time. So say you've got a 900 word article, you only have to do this 3 times, but I'll show you. It'll make it super quick for you to actually create this. So you head back over to here and probably just grab just about that much, and we're just going to test it out. So we'll paste it into there, 216 words. Now you just stick with the Ninja 4.1 model. This is pretty much standard for your free plan. And then you want to click on Humanize. Now what it's going to do is it's going to generate a humanized article based on what you've just given it. Now you can just keep doing this in sections so that it sounds like humanized content. All right, now after you've clicked that Humanize button, if you actually scroll down, so before we had 51% over the whole script, right? But if you remember, the actual first part of the script was almost all AI. So now it's actually got 0% AI detected. So it literally rewrites the whole script for you. Now at the bottom here, you've got human, high impact, human, and AI. So this is a perfect example of how to actually use this tool effectively to write your blog articles. All right, so now that we're actually back on our post that we initially added before, we've got all of our information, we've got our article written up. Now the first thing we want to do is actually go and implement our title, right? Now, because there's already so many other blogs out there, there's so many other good, high quality content out there specific to these sort of reviews, you want to make sure that you're keeping your titles as long as possible and you're trying to get in as many keywords as possible into that initial title. Now, mine would look something like this, right? The best camera for solo content creators in 2025 who want to vlog on a budget. DJI Pocket 3 or the Sony ZV-E10. Now, essentially, if we were just to stick with promoting the product to content creators in general, it would actually make it a lot harder to target these specific audiences. So you could be getting the quantity, but you may not be actually getting the right audience to your website. So your conversions could actually be a lot lower. So by doing this specifically, someone who is a solo content creator and they want to vlog on a budget, this would actually be perfect for them. So if you were to get 100 people that were into general content creation, they may not be into something like this, right? And you're going to be coming up against way harder competition and better blog articles, also bigger websites or platforms that are actually creating these articles to promote the products. But if we come at it from a different angle that's targeted to one specific audience, then this can really help with boosting those conversion rates and ultimately making the sale. All right, so we now have gone and humanized all of our content. I've just gone and copied and pasted that all now into our article. The next thing we want to do is actually go and create a comparison table. Now, because we've got that integration with Amazon Associates and WordPress, this makes it so easy and it actually looks really clean. So it helps with actually keeping your website looking professional and hopefully the chance to make more sales. So once you've worked out where you want to put your table, you want to go to the top left-hand corner here and click on this blue cross symbol. Now you want to scroll down to the bottom here and it says text. So under there, it's going to say link Amazon products. So if we drag that into the middle here, and let's say we want to put it just above this line here, we'll drop it in there like that. So now it's going to give us 3 choices. 1 is just a single product, 2 is a multiple product list, and 3 is a comparison table. Now, as you're all aware, we're doing a comparison blog for this example. So the first thing we want to do is click on select. Now, if you don't already have a comparison table made, that's all good. You want to click on add a new table configuration. So once you do that, it's going to bring you to a page that looks like this, right? The first thing you want to do is just create a table name. So just make it something that's related to what you're actually going to be comparing. So then you know which table to actually click. So we've got the Osmo Pocket 3 versus the Sony ZV-E10. Just click on continue. All right, so this next part is where you're going to add your products into the table. So you can either search for the products on this specific search bar, or you can just go and get the unique ASIN code. Now, to get the unique code, you just want to go to the actual product page. So we've got the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Just scroll down here and where it says item details, just click on that. And then if you scroll a bit further down, it's going to have the ASIN number there. So what you want to do is copy that, go back to here, paste it into there, and search. And there you go. So we've got that first product here. Now to do the next one, just repeat the process. All right, so we've now got the 2 products on there. Let's click on continue. Now adding the product data, this is pretty much, you won't really have to change this. So essentially it's just gonna have your title. So the title of the product, the thumbnail, which is just gonna be a picture that it's generated from Amazon for that specific product. You've got your price. So that's just gonna obviously be telling the audience the price of the product. And then a bit more information is actually going to be the buy button. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. For now, you want to click on save changes. And then from here, you want to go back to your posts, click on all posts, and then click on this one back here. So once you're back on your post, it's going to say choose the table configuration. So this is where we just were before. If you hadn't already made a table, you would have clicked on add a new table configuration. Let's go with choose a table configuration, the Osmo Pocket Review. Press continue. And there you go. It gives you the title, the thumbnail, the price, and the buy on Amazon button. So let's just test that out to see what it actually is like. So click on the buy on Amazon button. That should take you to the Amazon page where you can purchase the product. So just a key tip as well, guys. Yes, people are going to go and click through that link, go and buy the product. But if you don't have your tracking ID set up properly, you're not going to make any commissions. So make sure to go back to that step and make sure that you've done that correctly so that you can get paid.
Whoa, hold on a second. Now, I know comparison posts are one of the best, but why not give yourselves even more opportunities to earn, especially now that you've got your product reviews up and running? That's where the best of articles come in. Instead of product A versus product B, this is more broader. Like, what's the absolute best camera that's out there?
Take Tech Radar's page for an example. They have a ton of different products, all lined up next to each other with a brief description of the product and even a rating. By creating these types of blogs, you're pulling in a much wider audience, people who haven't made a decision yet and are still figuring out their options.
So you consumed a ton of helpful knowledge so far. You know what to write, how to write it, and how to get it seen. Fantastic.
But here's the brutally honest truth. All this incredible information means absolutely nothing if you don't take action. You've come all this way, you've invested your time, but if you walk away now and don't implement what you learned, you'll just be stuck. That's why we created a guide for you to help create these articles effectively. You'll learn how to spot trending products using tools like Google Trends, YouTube, and even TikTok, and how to turn those ideas into content that feels personal, not robotic. We'll walk you through real examples, give you a proven Chatgpt prompt to write like a human, and even show you how to double check it with our secret Humanizer tool. Whether you're stuck on where to start or just want your content to actually stand out, this guide's for you. If you want access to this, then just check the first link in the description. You now have blog posts that are pulling in consistent traffic, but in 2025, there's never been a bigger opportunity to spike your growth than with short form content. And the crazy part is, all you really need is your phone and a couple of software tools like V.io and Canva. Now, If you're happy to show your face in these videos, you're gonna have the upper edge and credibility over the ones that don't. Therefore, you build instant authenticity.
Because people are seeing a real person, not just a brand. Now, when it comes to editing, you can either edit videos yourself or outsource it to people who actually know how to engage viewers. If you want to edit yourself, platforms like Veed and CapCut are super simple for beginners, which makes either a suitable option. We actually break down how to create short form content on our video right here about how to make money with AI.
All right, you're crushing it with short form content now. You're getting eyes on your brand with your blogs. Perfect. We're almost there. But now, it's time to build something just as powerful, your own audience.
And you do that by building out an email list, and it's much simpler than you think.
We'll show you exactly how to do this using Mailerlite. Now, the best way to build your list is to offer something incredibly valuable for free, like a downloadable guide.
You can promote this freebie directly through your website, your blog posts, and even your social media bios. But here's a crucial rule you must know. You're not actually allowed to include Amazon links directly into your emails. So you need to encourage them to check out a blog page or a specific product review on your website first. Think something like, I reviewed a portable charger that powered my phone 3 times faster. Check it out in this week's blog post.
All right, let's cut to the chase and show you exactly how to build your email list on autopilot. All right, guys, so I'm just going to start off with a bit of a tour of the dashboard for Mailerlite. Now, this is definitely the best option if you are a beginner. And since we're looking at building an affiliate marketing business for under $200, Mailerlite is definitely the best option. You actually don't have to pay a single dollar until you make your first 1,000 subscribers on Mailerlite. All right, so essentially just on your main page here, you can either create a campaign. So this is where you can build your professional newsletters. You've also got creating a form. So this is where you can actually add more subscribers to a specific group. You've also got creating a site. So you can actually build a website or a landing page with it using their special drag and drop editor. And then you can also create an automation. So this could be a 3 or a 5-step automation where you can email them every couple days without actually having to do it manually. It's also going to give you a performance overview, so your total active subscribers, the new subscribers for the day, how many subscribers you've got this month, and then also a bit of a graph just showing how much you've actually made or how many subscribers you've actually gotten over this past month. So it's also going to give you a bit of information about your campaigns, so how many emails you've sent, how many people have clicked through on your emails, all that sort of information. It's all laid out for you on their homepage. You've also got your automations, forms, and your site. All different types of information that can be definitely beneficial to your email marketing campaign. So if you actually look to the left-hand corner here, we've got a tab with all different menus here. So let's just have a look at campaigns. So you've got your campaigns. Now, this is where you can create and you can manage all your email newsletters and also your marketing messages. So next is your subscribers page. So this is going to show you all the people and all the emails that you actually have in your email list. So it's also going to help you to manage your list, including adding, segmenting, and pretty much analyzing your subscribers. So this is your forms page. Now this is pretty much where you can go and create those opt-in forms and then also those pop-ups to collect the email addresses from your audience. So we've also got sites. Now this is where you can pretty much go and build your landing pages or a simple website to pretty much promote any offers that you're trying to get an email for. And then the last one is your automation. Now this is definitely one of the most powerful tools that Mailerlite does have. Being able to set up an automated email list just makes it super efficient for whoever's using Mailerlite, and it can definitely benefit you in the long term. Shortly, we're actually going to go through how you can set up your email marketing automation.
All right, you've got your platform set up, but an empty email list is just that. It's empty. The real game changer is how you actually get people to subscribe.
Now, one of the most powerful ways to actually use email marketing effectively is by using a lead magnet. So this could be anything from like top 10 affordable tech gadgets in 2025, could be like a gadgets buyer checklist, all of those sort of things, something that can be valuable to someone, but they don't actually have to pay for it. It's something free, right? So this is the best way to actually go and get someone's email, and then you can actually touch them on a personal level as well. So you can promote these lead magnets through your websites, within a specific blog post, on your YouTube channel if you're creating a YouTube channel as well. So there's a ton of different ways that you can actually go and promote this, but the end goal is to always go and get their email. That's what you want. Now, a perfect example of this is Daniel and I's 5-step blueprint to making your first $1,000 online. Now, Daniel and I created this because we know the importance of helping beginners to reach their goals. We spent countless hours and days making countless mistakes, so we've created a specific ebook to actually help beginners take their first step and avoid the same mistakes that we made. Now, this is just an example. So we use Hostinger to actually create our website. Now, this is actually a free guide page. So we've got an email there. So you want to put your name in, your email, and then when someone clicks on send me the ebook, our automated system on Mailerlite knows that, and then it will send that out to their email. To help with promoting the free guide, you could also do a little introductory video like we've got there. So once someone actually goes and says, send me that free ebook, and they put their email in, they're going to get an email that looks something like this. Now, I'm here in the automation section. So I've gone and created this sort of template where I can make it look nice and appealing. Just give a quick and brief summary of what the guide's going to be about. And then if they go and click the click here button, it's going to give them the PDF download. And obviously one of the best things with Mailerlite is their drag and drop editor. So you can change anything. They've just got their menus on the side there. So it just makes it really easy and accessible to actually go and edit these types of emails. Now, let's just quickly touch on how frequently you should actually be sending these emails. Now, first of all, they need to have value. You don't just want to be overloading them with random stuff that doesn't really make sense, or it doesn't really correlate with what they've actually signed up for. So for example, if you're going to send them a free guide for something to do with a blog post, you're not going to go and send them information about drop shipping. Like, they don't want to hear that. If you've got their email for that specific reason, then you want to send them additional information on that specific topic. Now, how often should you be sending these emails? You want to be aiming for about once to twice a week, just as long as you make sure that you're keeping value and you're not just giving them rubbish. One thing to note though, and is very important, you must remember this. Since we're going with Amazon Associates, you can't actually go and promote a specific product in your email. So you can't go and use that unique Amazon affiliate link within an email. It is against Amazon's terms of service, so you will most likely lose your Amazon Associates account. What you want to be doing is using that guide that they've signed up for as a way to sort of promote the specific product, and then lead them back to your website where you've got that product implemented onto a page where it's linked to your specific affiliate link. Now, this is probably a good example of how you could avoid putting your Amazon affiliate links in your email. So it could just be like something here, this new portable charger has changed everything. I reviewed a portable charger that powered my phone 3 times faster. Check it out in this week's blog post. And then that click here button would be linked to your specific blog post, which would then have the Amazon affiliate link implemented in there.
All right, you know the rules of the game now, especially that Amazon link secret.
You've learned how to get subscribers now. This is huge, but having a list is one thing. Knowing what to send them and what not to send them is something completely different.
But imagine never having to manually send an email again, while your list still gets exactly what they need.
This next part is absolutely crucial if you want to avoid mistakes and actually make money.
All right, so now that we've got all of that cleared up, you've got a good understanding of what email marketing actually is and how to effectively use it. Let me show you how to set up an automation so that you can have your email workflows running on 24/7. Obviously, automation just means getting something sent automatically. So if someone signs up for a welcome email at like 12:30 in the middle of the night, they're still going to get sent that email because you've set up the automation process. So how do you actually set up an automation with Mailerlite? So guys, it's not the easiest, but trust me, if you follow this tutorial, I'll break it down perfectly for you guys. It actually took me a while to get used to it and to find out the actual way to do it properly. But now that I've got the system, I want to make sure that I can teach you guys the exact same. So when you go to Mailerlite, you want to go on the left-hand side and click on automation. So it's going to bring you to this page here. So it's going to show you your workflows and then also your drafts. So what you want to do is click on a new automation. So it's going to ask you to go and choose a template. Now you can start from scratch, but the other templates that you can get are things like a simple welcome email, a win back inactive subscribers, a new promotion, retargeting subscribers. So let's actually start with a simple welcome email. Now you could be promoting the product and say, make sure to subscribe for the latest offers and deals available for specific tech gadgets, for example, something like that along those lines. But let me show you how to actually start that up. So if you're happy to go ahead with a simple welcome email,
you want to click on preview. Now, this is what it's initially going to look like when you start to set up your automation workflow, and you want to click on select template. So when you get to this initial page here, it's going to say at the top here, set up your workflow trigger. So this is pretty much what the subscriber has to do to initially trigger this automation to get started. So if you click on that, it's going to look something like this on the right-hand side here. So you're going to be under the email automation tab, and you want to create a workflow trigger. So our trigger would be when a subscriber joins this specific group. Now, I'll get to it shortly about how you can actually link this to your WordPress website. So for now, just stick with the when subscriber joins a group, because when we go to integrate that with our WordPress website form, it's going to ask us which specific group that we want to go with. So I'll show you in a minute. At this stage, just click on that. All right, so next you want to click on here where it says welcome email. Now, first it's going to ask for your email name. So this is just for your own reference within Mailerlite. So you can probably keep it with a welcome email, because that way you know it is a welcome email. Then we're going to put our subject line. So I've got something like this, right? You're in. Get live updates and deals straight to your inbox. So your audience could be signing up to something where you're telling them they're going to get all the latest deals and the latest offers on these specific tech gadgets. And then this is what you want your subject line to be. Something that pretty much tells them you're in, you're going to get live updates, deals, and pretty much telling them they're going to get it straight to their inbox. Now, who's it from? Obviously, we're Dan and Nate, so it's going to say Dan and Nate there, but whatever your name is or whatever your brand is, you're going to stick with that. You'll send an email. Now, this is going to be your specific email again. And then this is where you can actually go and edit the email so that you can make it look effective and engaging at the same time. So you want to click on design email. Now, we've gone with the simple welcome email. So Mailerlite is actually going to give you a ton of different templates that you can actually choose from. But the thing is, with these pre-made templates, you can't actually get these on the free plan. So you will have to upgrade for that. If not, then you can always just go and create your own template. So because you don't have the paid plan, and at this stage we are going to stick with the free plan just because we're trying to keep everything on a budget. So you can always just go and create your own template. So this is something that I've got. When you've got your template there, you just want to click on choose. So once you've chosen the template, it's going to load it like this here. So then you can change all different things like your font, the background, the content styles, your button styles. And then on the left here, you've actually got your drag and drop editor, which actually makes it really easy for someone to go and create these emails, especially if you don't already have the paid plan with those pre-made templates. So first, if I wanted to change my logo, you could just go here and hover over this, and it's going to have a replace image button here. So if you click that, it's going to bring you to this file manager. So this is actually our logo for Dan and Nate. So I'm going to insert that. All right, so now if you wanted to go and change the main image, the one that's actually going to straight away grab the attention of the audience, up here and click on replace image. And then you can go to Google or Amazon, wherever you're going to go and find the image of your specific product. And then you can just upload it to the file manager. Go to the right-hand corner here and click on upload, and then put your files in there. To insert the images, you just want to click on insert, the green button there. All right, so I've now got our image in there. So the next thing you want to do is just go and put a bit of body text in there, or something to relate to what you're actually going to be giving them. So for example, I've got here, you're in. Now, if you actually want to do a personalized email and actually relate it to that specific person and their first name, I'll show you what to do. So you could be something like, hey, and then what you want to do here is go to where the hashtag is, and it says variable. So if you click on that, it's going to get you to select the variable. So if you were to select email, it's going to say, hey, this@gmail.com. You want to make sure that you select on name. So if you select on name and say I signed up to your email list, hey Nathan, you're officially on the list. And that means you'll be the first to know when the best products go on sale. No more constantly checking websites or missing limited time deals. So I've also got, here's what to expect. So this is pretty much just a quick introduction, a simple welcome email so people actually know what they're going to expect. If you wanted to do something like a call to action, you could put at the bottom something like, click the below button to find the latest deals. And then this button, you want to click on link, insert your link, and then where it says enter your URL, you want to go and put your blog article or whatever you've put on your website to actually go and promote all these specific products. And then you also just want to go with open link in a new tab. And then once you've done that, you can even just change what it says here and say, click here. And there you go. You've got your first welcome email set up, ready to go. So once you've done that, you want to go and click on done editing. All right, so to set up this email automation chain, you want to first click on this plus button here, and you want to click on condition. Now, to go and define this specific condition, you want to go to the right-hand side here. So click on please select, then click on workflow activity. Then you want to click on welcome email. So this is defining that specific condition in relation to that first email, right? I'll explain. So click on it again, and now it's going to give you these options. So we're going to go with was not opened. So what I mean by that is we're going to define a condition where if the email wasn't initially opened, then they're going to get a separate email to the people that did open the email. So if I go with was not opened and click on save, so welcome email was not opened, right? So if the welcome email was opened, then they will go down the left path with the green tick. And if the welcome email was not opened, then they would go to the red X on the right-hand side. So that email could be something like, hey, if you didn't see it, then make sure to keep yourself updated with all the new tools and deals that we're going to be providing you with. But then your email on the left-hand side where the green tick is could be the start of that email chain. So the second email. So from here, you then want to set your delay. So if you don't set a delay, then if someone opens the email, they're immediately going to get their next email. So what you want to do is actually go and set a delay. Now to do that, just click on the plus button here and click on delay. So given we're going to be doing 1 to 2 emails a week, you want to probably be setting it at about a 3 to 4 day wait before you send the next email. So let's go with 3 days, click on save. And then you also want to do the same thing here. So you want to wait 3 days. If they haven't opened the email, then you provide them with an updated email. And then you pretty much just repeat the process, guys. So if they have clicked it, you can click on the plus button here, email, and then that's the start of your email chain. So you keep going, you keep repeating the same process. Hopefully that's made enough sense for you guys. All right, so this next part is actually the most important part. Your whole email automation process will be worth nothing if you actually don't get this right. So you need to make sure that you effectively link your Mailerlite automation to your form on your WordPress. Now there's 2 ways to do that. One is through the WordPress plugin WP Forms, or the other way is through Elementor. Now for our specific website, Daniel and I, we actually use Elementor, and we can link our Mailerlite automation in literally a couple of minutes with this. So for this next step, you're gonna have to make sure that you sign up to Elementor Pro. We'll leave a link in the description so that you can access it. Once you've signed up for Elementor and you've downloaded the plugin on WordPress, when you go to add a new post, it's gonna bring you to a page that looks something like this. You wanna go and select Edit with Elementor. So your page is now gonna look something like this. On the left-hand side where you've got elements here, you wanna scroll down further to where it says Form. So you just wanna click that and that'll load there for you. Now to actually link this with Mailerlite, you want to click on this edit button here, and it's going to give you this side menu here that looks like this. So you can change the form name if you want. You can change these specific items. So for us, just keep it simple. You just want your name and then the email essentially. So to link this now with Mailerlite, you want to scroll down here where it says actions after submit, and you want to make sure that Mailerlite has been selected. All right. So when you go and click on plus, if you scroll through here, it's going to have Mailerlite for you to select. And then once it's been selected, it's going to come up as another option on the bar here. So you want to click on Mailerlite there. Now what it's going to ask you to do is actually go and put in your custom API key. Now to get that API key, we want to go back to Mailerlite and you want to click on integrations. So here the page is going to look something like this. This is where you're going to go and get your API key. So we want to click on use here on the right, and then it's going to ask you to generate a new token. So you just want to click on that there. It's going to ask you to put a token name in. So let's go with something like best tech deals and then click on create token. So now what it's going to do, it's going to give you this API key. So the most important part now is to copy this key, and then you want to implement that custom API key in this section here. Now what it's going to do is it's going to automatically load all the groups that you've got on Mailerlite. Then I'll show you what to do next. You want to go back to Mailerlite and make sure you're in the subscribers tab. So from here, you can navigate to groups where it says groups here, and then you can go and create a group. So let's just go with best tech deals and click on create. So once you've created that group, you now want to go back to your automation workflow, click on continue editing for now. And then back where it says set up our workflow trigger at the top here, what you want to do is select a group. Now, if we click here and we click on tech deals and make sure you save that. All right, so when you go back to the form that you have on your WordPress website, if you've re-put your custom API key in, you maybe want to refresh it as well. And then it's going to come up with the groups here. And then you want to select best tech deals. So now when people sign up to this specific form, it's going to activate that workflow and they're going to get that automated email. Now guys, I hope that made sense. If you do have any questions or you're unsure about something, always feel free to reach out, leave a comment, and we'll make sure that we get back to you. All right guys, so just to check in at this point, if you did use our 20% discount with Hostinger, you probably would have spent about $65 USD at the moment, but everything else, SEO articles, short form content, your email list, we've done all of that for free.
So you've got the content, you've now got the systems, you've even started building out an email list. This puts you way ahead of most beginners. But now comes the real test, because this is where most people quit. Not because the strategy doesn't work, but because they don't know how to improve it. So let's fix that.
Now we've studied the habits of the most successful affiliate marketers, so you can follow the same simple posting schedule, use the best ways to drive traffic, and apply these exact strategies they took to grow faster. So the first question is, where do you actually need to be posting your content?
It's simple. First of all, you start with your blog on WordPress. This is where everything is connected. Affiliate links, lead magnets, and long form content, all with the aim of building trust over time with your audience. Next, short form video. If you play this right, this is the key to getting discovered. You want to post on platforms like TikTok, Insta Reels, and YouTube Shorts.
Why? Because those platforms are built for reach. One 15-second clip can drive hundreds of people to your blog or your email list in just one day. And finally, your email list. Now for this specific business, we're sticking with Mailerlite, the perfect platform for beginners. But how do people find it? You promote it everywhere. Blog footers, pop-ups, YouTube descriptions, TikTok bios, Instagram stories. You make it easy for people to say, yep, I want that freebie.
Now, when should you post? With blog posts, you need to be aiming for 2 to 3 times a week. This builds your SEO presence over time and gives you more content to repurpose in the future. With short form content, you want to be posting at least 3 times a week. Consistency beats perfection. Emailing your list, just once a week is fine. Just point them to one of your posts or products.
And finally, how do you make the algorithm work for you and not against you? To beat the algorithm, you need to be using tools like Google Trends for your blogs. You want to be hooking your viewers in the first 3 seconds of your short form videos and send weekly emails that actually help them. When you know when to post, where to show up, and how to use the algorithm to your advantage, everything changes. You're no longer just creating content and crossing your fingers hoping something goes well, because now you've actually got a system.
It's also crucial to track what actually works, because without data, you're just guessing. Use tools like Bitly or Pretty Links to monitor your affiliate link clicks, and use Google Analytics to see how people are interacting with your blog. And then once you know what's working, just keep doing more of it, and that's how you grow faster. All right, if you've stuck around this long, you're ahead of 90% of the people who've given up before they even started. And lucky for you, this is where it's getting real.
We promised you at the very beginning of this video that we'd show you exactly how to set up an affiliate marketing business for under $200. And now we're finally going to break down what it actually costs.
Here's exactly what this business has costed us. To actually build our website, we spoke about Hostinger. This will cost you about $65 USD a year, including your domain. However, if you want to include email marketing as part of your strategy, you will need to upgrade to Elementor Pro. This also comes with additional features for roughly $80 USD per year.
Now, to actually build your email list, we used Mailerlite. Now, with Mailerlite, you don't have to pay a single dollar until you get your first 1,000 subscribers. So therefore, we've spent $0 on email marketing.
And honestly, tools like Chatgpt, Stealth Humanizer, and CapCut are just some of the free resources available to help you build faster, write better, and create a profitable affiliate marketing business.
Now, before we wrap this up, it's time to give you that one piece of advice that ties everything together. The advice that we said we'd save for the end.
Because honestly, this is what most beginners skip because they don't think it's valuable enough. It's not a tool, it's not a strategy, it's a person. A mentor, someone who's already walked the path that you're trying to walk, someone who's already made the mistakes, figured out what works, and is now living the results that you want.
And no, this isn't just our opinion. This is a common theme that we've seen among some of the successful affiliate marketers. They all had a mentor, because doing this alone, it's like building a house with no blueprint, no help, and no clue if you're even using the right tools.
But with the right mentor, you speed everything up. You skip the guesswork, you actually start winning.
So here's our challenge to you. Don't just leave this video and keep trying things alone.
Reach out,
Find someone who's already a few steps ahead. Whether it's joining a Facebook group, DMing someone you admire, or simply asking better questions in the right community, just do it, because this is what will separate you from everyone else who's watching the video. You're actually going to take the steps to go and do something. There you have it. The exact system that we use to start our affiliate marketing business for under $200. You've got everything you need: a niche, a website, traffic strategies, and a way to actually build your audience.
But if you want to speed things up and digest it easier, you can access our free guide on danandnath.com.
We'll leave a link in the description.
And guys, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment down below, let us know what you guys think and if that was valuable for you today.
And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can keep creating valuable content for you. See you in the next one.